gesture since I'm really this ugly. We're not as young as we used to be. We got a few tricks left inside of our sleeves. We got some wrinkles, but we under each one. We feel it barely bigger. We take our time, but we always get there. We got a few streaks creeping into our head. We got experience to the test of time. And now we're entering our prime. We're not ready to walk the plank. 'Cause we still got some gas left. And I'll tell you might be thinking that our time has passed. You might be musing that our fate's been cast. You might be thinking we'll get out of your way. We're here to tell you not today. We got good credit and a MasterCard. And all our life we've been working hard. We've earned a chance to relax and play with whatever comes our way. We're not ready to walk the plank. We still got some gas left in our tank. Oh, baby, yeah. We got good credit and a MasterCard. And all our life we've been working hard. We've earned a chance to relax and play with whatever comes our way. We're not ready to walk the plank, but we still got some gas left in our tank. Oh, now,
All right.
Hey, how about that? You're listening to the Chicago Bob's Blues Show. That was Mr. John Chorney with the legendary Dave Rudolph in the studio. We're here at the Spot Studio with Mr. John Huber. Sorry, Mike.
It's only a mic, Mike.
Hello, everybody.
Along with Mike Vetramilla.
Magic Mike. Hello, everybody. How you doing today on this beautiful spring day?
Okay, John, we're ready.
Yes, we
We're here for an interview with the legendary Mr. Dave Rudolph.
legendary, at least in my own mind.
In everybody's mind. So you just heard a live performance. It's our actual first live performance of our show, right, John? That's right. So
I'm a
you
first.
christened us in.
You're a guinea pig.
Sometimes I feel like it too, I tell you.
So let's get right to the beginning.
Yes,
You're from?
Park Forest, Illinois. Well, I grew up in Kankakee, Illinois.
That's almost Park Forest.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
So
it's up north. It's just the northern suburb of Kankakee.
yeah, northeast.
That's right.
So how did you get into music and stuff? First off,
Well, I started when I was in high school playing, and then I went to college. And then after college, I got in a band real quick called Pythagoras. And that was a acoustic band, kind of like Model on America, that kind of a thing. And I did that for a year, and then I went solo, and I've been doing it full time.
wow, ever since.
Pretty much since. I've been doing it full time for nearly 50 years.
Did you get famous right away?
old. What? Did
Were
I
you
get
famous right back then too?
one? Don't I wish? I'm infamous, more infamous than famous, right? So,
John, you're like the magical guy of finding all these great acts and stuff. How did you get hooked up with Dave?
Well, I met Dave. Actually, I saw him over 30 years ago. I used to go see him in Park Forest. He used to do shows over there. And then I hadn't seen him for years, and I was playing in a country band at the Pierogi Fest, and Dave was in the audience, and he was looking for a new keyboard player. And I
Or
did
pierogies.
recognize him right away. He come up and he asked me if I'd be interested. I said, yeah, sure. He gave me his card. I go, oh, Dave Rudolph. I said, I know you. I said, I know who you are.
I had my name written in the bathroom walls, so I kind of advertised that way.
That's where I got my Chicago Bob start thing at. It was in the bathroom walls. And
Call Bob and
Englewood.
often. Well, Bob is the same forward as backwards, so
That's
if you
right.
pass out, you can read your belt.
right. Mike, you got any questions?
Yeah. I see you wrote
not my
books.
kid. What?
How many books did you actually write?
I've got 3 books out
they got a big
now, and I
print.
got a 4th book that I'm writing right now.
Wow. You're a
So-
man of many talents.
You got to do a bunch of stuff to keep your head above water in this
That's
business,
true.
as you know. The first book I wrote was a kid's book called, what was it called? Please Don't Tease the Dragon, and it won a Benjamin Franklin Award for humor or something. Well, it was nominated, so I was one of the 4 finalists for that. So
Cool.
I
Very
didn't win.
cool.
I'm like Susan Lucci. You remember for the soap? I always nominated, never win. I'm like the bridesmaid, ladies and gentlemen, of music.
So you've got 37 CDs out to date?
Yeah, well, 37 albums. A couple of them are out of print, thankfully, on a couple of them.
And we were wondering about the third one.
Oh, you personally, yeah, yeah. Well,
No,
you know,
I'm teasing.
I've got a bunch of CDs, like certificates of deposit, but I do have I have 37 albums out. Yeah,
Cool. I mean, some people go a lifetime to get one.
Yeah.
yeah, I know. I feel very fortunate. And
So did this make you a rich man?
you're in the music business, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. You needed to check that one.
Yeah, just Eric
No,
Clapton
but
and Buddy Guy.
it's great to have it out there, and it's like you're putting your stuff out there for posteriority's sake and stuff. So
Cool. And this is a blues show, but your music hits all genres and comedy also.
yeah, I've written a lot of stuff for Dr. Demento plays a lot of my music and stuff, and I have some specific comedy albums and comedy music and stuff. I've never liked to be locked into just one genre. of music.
You're not.
There's so much great music out there of all kinds. I love blues, and I love rock and roll, and I love folk. I love all kinds of stuff, and why not try to explore it as a writer? And I always say I'll try something. David Bowie had a great line. He said that where you should go as an artist is in the part of the pool where you can barely touch the bottom, because that's where most interesting stuff gets done, because you're pushing yourself on the limits of what you can do, and that also makes it more interesting for you as an artist. I think.
Wow.
So, I'm giving some
Songwriting.
heavy-handed things. Yeah, sorry.
Let's talk a little bit about songwriting.
Yep.
I can write melodies, but I can't. I have a hell of a time trying to put lyrics that don't sound stupid together.
Well, it's like anything else. It's a muscle. You know what I mean? You've got to flex that muscle and keep doing it. And you're going to write a lot of junk before you write anything good. So you got to keep at it and it's a craft. You've got to really work at it. When you're no matter what you are, if you're an athlete, you don't go out and hit every shot the first time. If you're a woodworker, you don't make perfect furniture the first time. You've got to stay at it and work hard at it. And you learn from watching what other people have done. So if you're a lyricist, you learn, and also for writing melodies too. So you'll notice that certain groups or certain artists have styles. Like James Taylor has a style where he does the pickup off of the A or the D's, and that's his style. But by understanding what he's doing, it lets you move on to another place as a writer too.
Right. Only John hits it the first time when he built the studio, but
Oh, John, this is a great place. John's did a great job, and I tell you that from a guy who's been in a lot of studios over my career and stuff. So, doing a good job, John.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
speaking of studios, you got a new CD out. Mm-hmm. It's called.
It's called "There's Still Gas in the Tank," which is appropriate, right?
Is that kind of like
At this age.
worn but not worn out?
Yeah, kind of. That's the whole theme, and the cover is kind of that
Used.
way too.
Used but not used up.
Yeah.
And so we got a song that we can listen to from this.
Yeah, I'll point out that this is my first duo album. I did it with Diana Laffey, who's a great singer-songwriter from Chicago, and she does the second verse. We alternate the verses on
Okay.
this stuff too.
Is she pretty? That always
That's
helps.
irrelevant.
No,
isn't it?
it always helps.
Not in Bob's world.
Yeah, Bob. Bob, you're such. Where's the Me Too movement when you really need it? Bob, I'm slapping Bob. You can't see it.
Yes, he can.
You on the radio can't see it. You on TV can see that I'm slapping Bob. Okay.
Play that one, John.
Besides, I'm not pretty.
Let me be your race car driver. Let me roll right up to you. I'll take you to new places, in spots you never knew. Yeah, my engine has been running, and it's racing to your heart. Got to start. Feel the pistons fire, the humming of the tires. You know it's your desire to go from wide to wide. Let me be a race car driver. Let me roll right up to you.
I don't need a race car driver. Take it nice and slow. Well, I don't want a man who's racing, oh, to where I wanna go. Well, I'd rather have a limo with a smooth and classy feel. A man with confidence, oh, let me take the wheel. Feel the engine purring, the humming of the tires. Fine-tuned engine that's stroking our desire. Let me be your driver, baby, and roll right up to you.
Feel the pistons fire, the humming of the tires. You know it's your desire to go from wide to wide. Let me be your race car driver. Oh, let me roll right up to you. Be your race car driver.
I wanna be the driver, baby.
Let me roll right up to you.
That was Race Car Driver,
I like that song.
Dave
Why, thank you.
Rudolph. That's on your newest CD,
Yes, ma'am.
and you didn't know it, but we have race cars too.
Okay.
And that woman can sing.
She's a great singer.
Who else is on this song? And tell us a little bit about this.
Players. Well, John's on this.
John?
Yeah, he's playing the keys, both the piano and keyboards. We got Jim Woodlowski, who's a fantastic drummer. He lives in Chicago. He's in Hamilton right now. I mean, he's really good. Scott Ashley did the guitar on that along with myself. He did the
That's some great slide playing
Yeah,
too.
he's a great slide player. He's a great player just generally. And bass player was Wally Huston. Wally Huston is a great bass player from the city and stuff too.
Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago.
Cool.
Yeah.
So where was this recorded at?
My studio.
Oh, at your home
Yeah.
home studio. That was
It's not really a home studio, but it's at my studio. Yeah. it's like this isn't really a home studio here either. I mean, it's
Sort of. John lives here.
yeah, he lives. Oh, I live there.
In home studio.
Well, yeah, but the home studio has a connotation.
In home studio.
Yes, it does. Yeah, you know. Yeah, so yeah.
Okay. Tell us some more about the new album, the new CD.
Well, there's 18 songs on it. I don't do
Whoa.
anything halfway and stuff, and there's
Isn't like 13 the average, I guess?
yeah 12, 13. But I very rarely do albums of that length. I usually
You get your money's worth then.
well if you're buying it, yeah. But and I just write a lot of stuff, so there's only 2 songs on there that I didn't write. Well, Di wrote one, and then I wrote the other 14 songs, but we have a really cool version of "Will the Circle Be Unbroken," which is the traditional, and then we do the old Youngblood song "Get Together" and stuff.
All right.
So, yeah.
All right, cool. We also got I Got a Thing. Where'd that come from?
And this is off of the Pale Soul album of a couple years ago, and that
And
was
it's on the new CD also?
no,
Or
no, Pale Soul.
All right.
That's on the Pale Soul album, which is from 2 years ago, about 2 years ago. So I had 2 albums out that year, and both of those, as you were mentioned, landed on Tom Lounge's
all right.
top 10 albums. Both of them, which was very nice. So that came out that year. So
Who's playing? Same people playing on that?
a lot of the same people, but I have a really good singer called Marsha Lynn Smith that she's singing the background stuff on there. Cool. This album the new album is a little different because it's a duo thing. I did it with Di, but I wrote most stuff. But Di's a great singer, and we kind of trade verses and stuff. But this one was mostly, and this album I was trying to make an R&B album with that had songs representative of all the different eras of R&B music, going back to the acoustic time, and then the jump music and stuff like Louis Prima and
swing.
the swing, jump, and jump. Yeah, swing is like a version of the jump, like Shake Jivin',
Jump, jive, and
jumping
wail.
around. I can't even talk today. I got tied tongue.
And you got the 2 Italian guys over here.
We
But
know
you're
the
not
Louis-
talking with your hands that much here. You know,
it's like I'm trying to.
because we're in
not
the corner.
oh, that's right. Don't put baby in the corner. Boy, we're being serious here for a long time. But so that I did a bunch of different styles, and this is kind of I would say more of the kind of the soul kind of a thing. I would think.
Should we give this a listen, John? Sure. I Got a Thing.
I hope so.
I got a thing for you, baby. Feel like a key around you, darling. I'm not sure why you cause me such stress. It just might be the way you wear that dress. Oh, the way you make me feel when you smile. Everything you do just drives me wild. You got me under your charms. I'm starting to be alarmed, girl. You're pulling me deeper in. You're making my blood swim. I got a thing for you, baby. Feel like a key around you, darling. I don't like it when I'm not in control. I hate it when it's my heart that you stole. But I love it when you start to dance. Girl, let's face it, never stood a chance. You got me under your charms. I'm starting to be alone, girl. You're pulling me deeper in. You make my blood swim. I got a thing for you, baby. Feel like a king around you, darling. got it, but I must succumb. The way you look at such a victimless crime. Girl, lock me up, I'm glad to do the time. I got a thing for you, baby. Feel like a kid around you, darling. I got a thing for you, baby. Feel like a kid around you, darling. I got a thing for you, baby. Feel like a kid around you, darling.
Hey, that was Got a Thing. Oh, that was cool too.
I Got a Thing.
R&B-ish.
Yeah, I like that one.
I want to do a cover of that.
There you go. To do it as a cover away.
We're in the studio, the Spot Studio, with Dave Rudolph. Y'all, that's the guy waving, the old guy. The other guy on the other end,
Shut up. I hate you. I hate you.
You are the senior here.
the other guy down there is Mr. John Shorney.
I still have my teeth, darn it. That's
So-
John. Yeah. When he moves around, he's a porta john. I don't. Thank you. I'm right here all week. Try the veal. Thank you.
You know, there's a song I wanted to hear, but we're going to save it for my show.
Uh-oh.
Because I heard you do a little rockabilly, you do a little surf music, you do some British invasion. You see, I told you he's a man of many talents.
Yeah. There's a kind of a surf on the Christmas one.
Okay.
I got a.
Here's my warped idea.
Okay.
We need to re-release the surf, and then we'll set up a surfboard in here in the studio, and have John doing while you're singing the song.
Don't quit your day job, Bob.
I'm retired.
Yeah. It's probably a good choice. Why am I insulting the people? I'm going to sound really bad when they do. Stay rough.
So, anyways, there's a song on here when I was doing research on you.
Yes.
First off, when I was doing research on you, my wife heard something that she pushed me off the computer. That was yesterday,
Yes.
and I didn't get to get on it until again today. Anyways, there was a song that really, really, really hit home to me. It's called "You're Getting Old."
Yeah. I wrote it because at 50, they track you down, don't they? And
Ain't it?
It's like they want to tag you so you're not out in the wild without, like, they can airdrop depends on you or something. And then at 65, it's even worse. They start hounding you. So I wrote a song that kind of goes with all of those things.
And the only thing missing from this song, in my
Yes.
warped mind,
Yeah.
is the letters from AARP.
Yeah, that's true, ARP. Yeah. But there is a reference to ARP in there.
Is there?
Oh, yeah.
We'll have to listen to it again. John?
Maestro John?
You're getting old when your body starts creaking. You're getting old when your memory's leaking. You can grow hair on your rear, in your nose and in your ears, but on your head it's disappeared. Let's face it, you're old. He's been right before you when you look in the mirror. The lines and the signs, they couldn't be clearer. When your knees start to buckle, but your waist belt won't. When your mind says let's party, but your body says don't. Then you're getting old when your body starts creaking. You're getting old when your memory's leaking. When you're grunting to tie your shoes and your back goes out more than you. When your art card gets renewed, well, it's let's face it, you're old. When a Boy Scout tries to help you cross the street, and your beer gut's so big you can't see your feet, when you get lucky means finding your lost keys, when gravity becomes your enemy, then you're getting old. When your body starts creaking, you're getting old. When your memory's leaking, when you can grow hair on your rear, in your nose and in your ears, but on your head it's disappeared. Let's face it, you're old. When you wear black socks with your sandals, and your birthday cake costs less than the candles, when you're spending twice as long to look just half as good, when you're thinking about prunes more than you should, then you're getting old. When your body starts creaking, you're getting old. When your memory's leaking, when you're grunting to tie your shoes, and your back goes out more than you, when you hate things 'cause they're new, let's face it, you're old. When your idea of weightlifting is standing up, when you can't remember the drink that's in your cup, when you're looking for your glasses and you find them on your head, when you're checking the obits to see who's dead, then you're getting old. When your body starts creaking, you're getting old. When your memory's leaking, you can grow hair on your rear, in your nose and in your ears, but on your head it's disappeared. Let's face it, you're old.
Hey, you're listening to Chicago Bob's Blues Show. That was Dave Rudolph. You're getting old. That song hits home like a heart attack. Dave,
Yes, sir.
how about a live performance?
That sounds like a good thing. John and I'll do it. I also do stuff, British Invasion things, and we're going to do one. I have a British Invasion album last year. We're going to do an old animal song, but actually it's an old Negro spiritual, actually.
Let's hear it.
There is a house in New Orleans they call the rising sun, and it's been the room of many a poor boy and guy. I know I'm one. My mother was a tailor, so my blue jeans. My father was a gambling man.
and the other foot on the trail. I'm going back to New Orleans to wear that ball and chain. The years I house in New Orleans, they call rising sun, and it's been the ruin of many a poor boy. And God, I know I'm one. And God, I know I'm one. And God, I know I'm
Right.
Mr. Dave Rudolph and Mr. John Chorney here in the studio, the Spot Studio. We're doing this live right now,
No.
right?
It's live now.
It's live now, not yesterday.
No, live. No, not the day
It would be
before.
dead if it was
It
yesterday.
ain't in the future neither. It is now.
We're coming to you live from the Spot Studio in beautiful downtown Schneider.
Almost downtown Schneider.
Is there a downtown Schneider?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Right by the Family Dollar.
On the other side of the bridge,
There you
down
go.
by.
The river in a van.
Speaking,
Yep.
Living in a van.
We do have stoplight envy, though.
yeah. Speaking of downtown Schneider, John, did
Yes.
you hear that Jack's is now open for lunch and stuff, so we can actually order pizzas ahead of time for the show?
Is that a hint?
Yes.
Bob's real subtle.
I will get right on that.
Right.
Food. We want food.
So we're going to take a short pause here. John, you have something special for us.
Yes, Julie and I just recently celebrated our 5-year wedding anniversary.
Congratulations.
Thank you. And so we decided we'd go down to Asheville, North Carolina, and see our friend, Mr. Jimmy, which is Jim Anderson's new persona.
New persona? He's not Ange no more?
Well, among friends, but when he's up on stage, he is Mr. Jimmy.
Uh-oh.
Man, did he look pretty ill?
Okay.
We're gonna have to
Never
get him.
mind.
We have to get him a cowboy hat and a corn cob pipe.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, anyway, here is my recap of Julie and my weekend. "5 years ago, I finally got married to the girl I went out with in college 30 years before. To celebrate our 5th wedding anniversary, we decided to go to Asheville, North Carolina for a long weekend. It just so happens that a good friend, Jim Ange Anderson, leader of the Chicago King Snakes, recently moved there and reinvented himself as a solo artist now known as Mr. Jimmy. After arriving in Asheville, we made our way to the French Broad River Brewery to see him perform. We talked to him while he was on break. At one point, he got me up on stage and we performed a rendition of Sweet Home Chicago. He sang a bass accompaniment when it came time for me to take a solo. He was very accommodating and I was grateful. The next day, we scouted the shops in downtown Asheville. They were artsy and charming. This aquarium, for example, has been maintained for a significant number of years with live coral and healthy fish. We sought out the Moog synthesizer factory and found it about an hour before closing time. We missed the factory tour but got to try out some of the models on display. On Mr. Jimmy's recommendation, we made it out to the Asheville Guitar Bar. The bar is decorated with guitars everywhere, even disguising one of the beams as a Gibson Les Paul neck, including different gauge wires to represent the strings. The owner, Mark Goldthwaite, introduced himself, and when we mentioned Mr. Jimmy, it was like the password for a private club that we were now part of. The house band, fronted by Mark, is renamed each month. This month, they answered to the Sterile Cats. Their fans and the keyboard player donned cat ears, and they threw cat toys out onto the dance floor. Next month, they'll come up with a new name. The band consists of retired musicians that never gave up their love of music. The bass player was an original member of Deborah Harry's group Blondie. The last full day in Asheville, we continued our downtown tour, viewing examples of more than 80 local artists' creations. Later, we met up with my friend Mark Burns, who lives a few hours east of Asheville, to watch a second performance by Mr. Jimmy at the Asheville Club, which is inhabited by many Asheville characters.
From the south side, let's hear from my little brother on the dancing machine.
We're already making plans for a return trip to Asheville, North Carolina.
So, John, that looks like a good trip.
Yes, I happen to be wearing my Asheville Guitar Bar.
Oh, God. Dance, John.
Don't take it off, John.
So that was you dancing?
I wasn't planning on that, no.
So, did you bring your guitar and go sit in? Because I know Andrew would have invited you out.
So I did, if you were paying attention here. He had me get up, and there was only one guitar because he only had one amp, and the other box guitar was tuned to C-sharp open tuning.
Where did I miss that at?
it was early on.
Okay.
And so the interesting part was that I guess I should be over here. The interesting part was where it was time for me to take a guitar solo. He sang the bass line. So I thought that was pretty creative and very accommodating.
We're always replaced so easily.
But there's a lot of bass player jokes, you know.
Oh yeah.
So we're in we're in the Spot Studio, Mr. Dave Rudolph and John Shorney, along with John Huber from the Spot Studio and Magic Mike Vetramilla. So we're talking about your career and your newest CDs. You got 37 CDs out, or LPs, whatever.
Yeah. Back then they had vinyl.
I remember them days.
Yeah.
In fact, my kid dug into mine, and he took it to school, not knowing what it was. And he goes, "Dad, it's the biggest CD I ever seen. They ain't got a player to fit it."
There you go.
So, anyways, you've been doing comedy. You're hitting all the genres. You know, you're doing R&B, you're doing bluesy stuff, rock stuff, country stuff, rockabilly.
Folk, yeah.
But the thing that sets it off is the comedy and the parody things.
I do a lot of that stuff too. I in the '80s I did some comedy clubs just to hone my skills as a comedian, because there's two things of being a performer. One is the playing, but also is the stage presence and how you relate to people. And I toured the colleges with a lot of as being the goofy guy. I looked around, there was a lot of guys who were good looking, and the girls are always going, "Oh, we got to book him because he's dreamy." And I go, "You know what? I'm not going to get any jobs for being dreamy." Look at this face. Yeah. So I said, "I'll be the fool." So I was. And I did a lot of the parody stuff and goofy songs and stuff like that. And I enjoy doing it. I like writing that kind of stuff as well. Again, it's another thing that I just like doing a bunch of different stuff. So
Now, picture this. If you were still dreamy, you could be doing all that surf stuff with being dreamy.
you're on that surf stuff, aren't you?
You could be in your Speedo.
Yeah.
John,
I think he's got some unhealthy desires here.
John would be on the surfboard over there, and that's when the cello will come around the corner.
You know what I like?
You know, she's
I like
dead, Annette.
I like that you did some Christmas stuff.
Oh yeah, I've got 3 Christmas albums, 2 funny ones, Bubba Christmas and Completely Cracked Christmas, and a Tropical Christmas.
Melakaliki
There is a surf
Maka.
song on that kind of a thing. So
There's surfing on that too?
well, there's a surf like well, you know, the surf music was like the Ventures and the Dick Dale and all that stuff. So we did an instrumental that was very much like that with the song on there.
None says Christmas like surf music.
That's right. Well, wouldn't we all like to be there in the winter?
Oh, yeah.
In
Oh,
Indiana, the Hoosier State, which sounds like a sock department at Sears, if you ask me. I'm in the Hoosiery department right now. That's right.
When you move here, you have to go through there to get here.
Indiana wants me. Lord, who did that song? Lord, I can't go back there. It was a one-hit wonder. I remember that. Yeah.
I hated that first time around.
Yeah. So, sorry, I got off on the track.
That's okay.
Anyways, so but like Cajun Christmas, I was listening to that.
Yeah.
That was I like that.
Yeah, that's a Cajun song. I like to write Cajun stuff too. Al Joseph, you mentioned Al Joseph, the fiddle player on the last song is You're Getting Old. He's an awesome fiddle player, and he did the stuff on that Cajun stuff too.
Cool. So now, in your world,
You don't want to go there.
in your mind, if you could put the perfect show together, who would it be?
You mean of my stuff, or
Yeah,
you mean
no,
of
no.
other people?
You with and what other players would be included?
Oh, the players on my album. I love the players on my album. You know, Jim Wydlowski, Wally Huston, and my son Ryan, who plays bass, great bassman. John, and some of the singers, backup singers like Marshall Linsmith. I love to do that. Mark Adrian is a great guitar player. He plays on my stuff too. So
We need to put that show together and take it on the road.
it's easier said than done. Touring is not cheap.
No, not touring as touring per se.
Yeah.
Did I say that right, John?
Yes.
Limited
Well, I'd love to do that. That'd be
engagements.
fine.
With, you
We
know.
are doing some shows this summer with a good portion of the band. Danny Mack is also going to be playing with us on bass, who's an Indiana boy too. With Mark and Adrian and Mark, Adrian, and John.
What about John's Summer Bash? What is that?
That's a wonderful music fest that I have once a year.
And great food.
It's the Indiana Woodstock.
Correct.
There you go.
Yep.
But
Well,
I'm-
there you could put us on that.
that's up to John. That's John's department over there.
Yeah. He told me I might be here when winter. He said when hell freezes over, I might play. That could be winter in Indiana. I'm telling you right now.
You know, so this is a blues show, and you did nail quite a few songs in the blues genre, but my favorite one were Sinners Play.
Yes, that's off the new album.
Where was
Yes.
that recorded?
At my studio too.
Studio 2.
In home studio.
Yeah.
In home
And
studio?
not home studio. Stop it. Bob
There's a
is
cat
purposely
there,
being
it's
mean
in
to me. I don't know what it is.
I'm trying to give you your just due, but I'm not thinking ahead, so...
Or at all.
so-
But
So, yeah. So, Digging Down Deep, where did that song come from?
well, it's kind of a little political statement about all the people who sit up above and kind
Okay,
of judge.
as soon
us.
as you say political, I know exactly where sin comes into all that play. But no,
Well, just the rich people that control the destiny of everything, and that's where that kind of thematically came from. And it's kind of a sinister song. It's got it's got a lot of the blues in it, but it's also got some Neil Young coursing through its veins on the bottom of it too. So, but
should we give this a listen, John?
Yeah, let's hear this.
are hidden in the alleys, in the shadow.
that's fine.
Just shut up.
Take two. That's the beauty of live music, ladies and gentlemen.
Gremlins are in the machine.
You know what I say during my show when I make mistakes, which
Thank you.
never happens.
And secret leaders
Didn't start at the beginning.
with sinners play.
Okay, so we'll talk a little bit while John figures this out. No?
I was fine.
Okay, he was fine.
Let's hear it.
Take two.
They are hidden in the alleys, in the shadows away from display, in dark rooms and secret meetings. It's the place where sinners play.
Yeah, where sinners play.
That's right. It's here, right?
Right. That's
When they
for
started it over, like the track, that was like Deja Vu. Ah, thank you very much. I'm here all week trying the vehicle. All right, sorry.
So, back to the future? No, back
Yes.
to we were talking about parodies and comedy stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Which does better for you?
You mean of the parodies or the comedy or the regular stuff?
Yeah, I mean,
It really varies.
I was listening to music first, and I'm going, "Hey, this cat's pretty cool," you know. And then
Yeah.
the further I got,
Well, I think they both, and there's different fans for different stuff, you know. And I have children albums out. I have 13 kids albums, and those.
you have 13
sell-
kids.
13 kids albums.
Oh.
No, God, no. Jeez, I got 2 boys. That's enough. That almost killed me. So all of them do different things, and to me, it's important to keep variety in the stuff, so I don't get bored for one
Right.
thing. And I like challenging myself to write different stuff. And there's different, you know, within the context of comedy music, there's a whole bunch of different stuff. There's parodies, which is one form of music,
Right.
and then starting from scratch, like the song we did earlier, the "You're Getting Old," is just a funny tune inherently. I mean, it's not a parody on anything else. Parodies rely on the structure of the tune,
Right.
and then you're changing the words to make
Right.
it. So there's different kinds of stuff. And then there's novelty songs. There's a whole bunch of different things. There's another form of parody where you take a song and play something different, another song, singing a different song while you're
right.
playing the melody. So there's all kinds of stuff, and it's fun to play with all that stuff.
Dave, do you do stand up and play your guitar in your shows sometimes? Or
Not stand up per se. I'll do some funny stuff, and I'll do little bits and
because
stuff.
you're hilarious.
Looking, yeah.
You know, I could,
So yeah, I'll do some stuff, and it depends on the venue too.
Yeah.
If you're doing a acoustic coffee house, you're more free to do that kind
Yeah,
of stuff.
'cause I could
if you're
see it.
doing if you're doing a festival like when we're doing the British Invasion show, it's not the place to do.
No.
I'll throw some stuff in there, but
but I could see it. I mean, I could see you doing stand up and actually incorporating songs in that.
yeah, I do some of that. Sometimes I'll do whole shows of all humor tunes and stuff.
Cool. I got to check that out.
Yeah. And if this doesn't work, like I said, I'm going to open up a gigolo business. Man. Guys got to have dreams.
pizza place. We need
That's
food.
right. That's right. Jesus, you're not going to let that go.
No.
Poor John over there. He's working so hard for it, and you're badgering him for pizza.
I can't wait till we get our first pizza from Jack's. Right, John? They deliver, right?
They do for a fee.
Yeah.
Well, they'll waive the
Well,
fee
Bob
for
said
the
he's
free
buying.
advertising,
Bob said he's buying.
It's just like a gigolo service.
ain't it?
That's right.
And
With
nothing's
dri-
for free.
But do they have drive-up windows at the gigolo service? That's what I want to know.
I bet in
It's a
California.
short window.
That's a good idea. Maybe like McMuffins will have a whole new word in the meeting. I'm the Big Mac, baby. Ah!
What are you gonna do with that bagel?
That's right.
Anyways, next song up we got is "Pray." Give us a little insight.
This
It's
is
on-
off one of. I have 2 Halloween albums, which actually sell a lot because there's not tons of Halloween albums. And "Pray" is just kind of a sinister little song. I liked we did with that. And the first Halloween album is more. It's kind of a family one, and this one is a little bit more adult stuff. We have John was talking about. We have a funny reggae tune called "Zombies."
So that's a great song. No, that's a reggae song. I think.
It's a reggae, yeah. It's done reggae. Because I do beach stuff too, but this one is just more of a sinister feel, and I was trying to go for a whole kind of creepy feel on it.
Cool. Let's give it a listen, John. It's from the Halloween LP.
It is coursing through my veins. It is paralyzing my brain. I can no longer stay, or I'll be easy prey. Chased and pursued by some force There's no face to this curse, but I sense it's perverse. I am praying for some mercy. I pray. I've been betrayed, for it is evil and old. I'm losing my mind to my fate. I'm resigned, for I am breathing through my every here I can't ignore as my sanity here's my peace. I am praying for some mercy. I pray. I've been betrayed, for yes,
All right.
That was Pray from the Halloween LP.
The second one,
Second one,
Bride
the,
of
the
Halloween
spooky
Spooktacular.
adult one.
The adult content one.
That's right. So,
You
where-
also work on cars and do
No.
other things too? I mean, you do everything. I just
with
thought
my
I'd ask.
wife. My wife and I say, I didn't get the Mr. Handy Good Wrench gene, and she didn't get the Betty Crocker gene.
Uh-oh.
No, I don't. Music is my ballywick.
oh, you're not one of those. You got to change the light bulb.
No, there's a good joke about. Do you know the how many folk musicians it takes to change a light bulb?
I don't know.
10. 1 to change it, and 9 to reminisce about how good the old one was.
Burial at sea. Anyways, so my wife was, like I said, she heard this song that I was listening to. She's running up and down the hallway laughing her ass off. And she finally comes in and she's like, "Who is that?" And I'm like, "It's Dave Rudolph and stuff." And she goes, "Do you know him?" I go, "Not yet, but I plan on it."
That's right.
And so she's like, "Move over. Let me hear that song." So she starts it over again. And they starts it over again. And then I'm like, I'm getting tired of standing up here, you know. All right, I'm going to go make a sandwich. And from there, she went on to other things. But she was listening to the Man song, and she thought that was the greatest thing. She's never heard it before by anybody. So when you did it, you lit the fire under her. Next time you're playing somewhere, she's going to be there.
Okay, good.
Take her with you. Don't bring her back. I can cook now.
Yeah, jeez.
Let's give this one a listen, John.
Yes, and also so the Bob and Tom show, the Man song is also played on that, but it's a different
It's Sean Morey.
Sean Morey.
Yeah.
But I bet this one's better.
Yeah, and so this one you did in your studio.
This was a live acoustic CD we did with.
In-home studio.
It's
Yeah,
just
shut up, Bob. Go stand in the corner, Bob.
what is the name of your studio?
Money Tree.
Nice.
Don't I wish it was actual factual?
He's a gardener too.
When I get my own studio, I'm going to call it the in-home studio.
Yeah.
The studio in home. you mean.
Bob's Discount Studio.
In the basement.
That's right.
All right, here we go.
In the van down by the river. I don't take no stuff from anyone else but you. And I wear the pants around here right to finish with your laundry. Cause I'm a man you don't want to fight. When I say jump, you say, yeah, right. I'm the man of the house when you're not home. You know what I'm talking about, man. What I say around here goes right out the window. And I don't want to hear any whining, so I'll just shut up. The sooner you learn who's boss around here, the sooner you can give me my orders, dear. Cause I'm top dog around here, but I've been neutered. All right, Ricky, play it for me. And I can make love anytime that you want. Cause I'm a man who has needs, but they're not that important. And don't expect any flowers from me, because as I remember, you prefer jewelry. I'm the king of the castle when you're not around. And I can drink and watch sports anytime I want to get in trouble. And I'll come home when I'm good and ready to sleep on the couch. Cause a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. And I'm gonna do what you tell me to. Cause I'm the king of the castle when you're not around. I'm the head of the house, but it's all in my head.
All right.
The man song. My wife
Man
loves,
up to the
my
man
wife
song.
loves- don't let your wife listen to that.
Okay.
She'll take over everything.
Uh-oh.
John, don't let Julie listen to that.
I am not worried about it.
You don't have to be worried about it. It puts ideas in their heads.
It's fine.
She has a lot of ideas as it is.
So we're in the Spot Studio live. Mr. Dave Rudolph and Mr. John Chorney, they came down here to hang out with us and get in trouble and drink beer and do stupid stuff. Anyways, we're having a good time, and they're going to play some more live in the studio. Did I say that right?
Yes, you did.
They're going to play some more live in the studio. Dave, what do you feel like doing?
Well, I'll do a couple little of the. We have two Christmas parody. We mentioned the two Christmas parody albums, and
All right.
couple little small parts of those. Like, out to the outhouse, quick, quick, quick. I ate mom's food, now I am sick. Out to the outhouse where I am king. I'm doing my thing for recycling. Ho ho ho, I got to go. Ho ho ho, I'm ready to blow. Out to the outhouse, quick, quick, quick. It's really cold to hope my butt don't stick. There's one of them, and we have. There's the Little Dumber Boy and O Come, I Read the Manual. And we do a parody of the Johnny Cash one, too. Song on Bubba Christmas. You'd think they get a clue. Saint Nick comes down their flue. If you want gifts this year, then don't scorch Santa's rear. Santa fell into a bird and flew a fire. It went down, 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 and the flames rose higher. And it burns, 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 the flue of fire. Santa's butt's on fire. Yeah, we got a bunch of them. But right now we're going to do a thank you. Oh, I feel the love. I feel like Sally Field. They do love me. Come on, adore me. All right. So we're going to do a Mexicali song. This is off of this thorny thing called Life album. In this border town in New Mexico, we could really pass. We could come and go, but now the anger grows as the drug trade flows. Where there once was peace, it often comes to blows. But I'll wait for her, this my Mia knows, by the borderline with a single rose. They want to build a wall, they want to separate, while they spread the fears and plant the hate. It's a foolish plan, it is bound to fail, for every wall is meant for us to scale. But I'll wait for her, this my Mia knows, by the borderline with a single rose in this border town. We're from different worlds, we're from rich and poor, but through the obstacles, our love it still endures. No concrete fence, no glass divide can ever stop this love inside. But I'll wait for her, this my Mia knows, by the borderline with a single rose in this border town. Oh, this border town. Thank you all. Thanks for having us. We had a great time. Thank you.